All right, today we're going to be unboxing the Sig Sauer MCX Spear LT. However, this one is kind of a special model in that it has Sig's non-reflective IR Cerakote coating. And we'll go more into that when we start going over the features. So first off, everything's going to be kind of in the left side of the box. And I'm trying to fit everything in frame here, but I'm doing the best I can. So here is the lock. Just a standard cable lock, black in color. You're also going to get a single Magpul PMag Gen M3. You also get a Sig Sauer sticker and a few Sig Sauer advertisements. So the first one's going to be regarding their Spec 1 lubrication line and cleaning products line. Next will be the Sig Sauer Connect app. So you do get 1 month free with the purchase of pretty much any new Sig Sauer gun. And then an advertisement discussing Sig's ammunition. You're also going to get kind of the new manual that Sig's been including with most of their firearms lately. Basically just a warning manual, and then on the front is going to be a QR code you scan to get to the manual specific to your firearm. All right, let's get the box out of the way, everything out, and we'll start going over the features of the MCX Spear LT. All right, got everything out of the way. As always, we'll start with some close-up shots. So like I said, this is a special edition or just special model that they are going to start to come out with. Typically, the Spear LT is going to be a tan anodized coating, but this one is, I'm not sure who created this type of Cerakote, whether it was Cerakote themselves or Sig, but this is a non-IR reflective Cerakote. So you should have a reduced IR signature if someone were looking at this firearm under IR or night vision. So we'll start first with the barrel. So the barrel on this model is going to be an 11.5 inch cold hammer forged steel barrel. Has a 1-in-7 rifling twist rate. Up front, the end of the muzzle is going to be threaded 1/28 with a tapered shoulder. It's also going to come with Sig Sauer's suppressor ready QD flash hider. This is a 3-prong flash hider. So this is very similar to the Warcomp series from Surefire, where their muzzle device also acts as a QD suppressor mount. So the handguard, it's going to be constructed of aluminum. Now, when it comes to the handguard, the upper and the lower receiver, Sig does not mention the type of aluminum, so I'm going to go with either it's 6061 or 7075. More than likely, the handguard is 6061, and the other two, upper and lower, are 7075, but I could be wrong there. But yeah, like I said, this is constructed of aluminum. It's going to feature Picatinny rail on the top side, and then you're going to have in-lock slots. And this is one of my favorite things about the MCX is how kind of much thicker of a handguard you get because of that gas piston system. So you do get in-lock kind of towards the side here. You have some on the direct left side, some angled, some on the bottom, more angled on the other side, flat on the right side, and then slightly angled on the right side top. And as you can see here, right at this point, where the Picatinny rail on the handguard meets up with the upper receiver. It's a very seamless finish. It took me a while to find exactly where that is, but very nice. So moving on back to the upper receiver. So like I said, this is going to be constructed of a forged piece of aluminum, more than likely 7075. And it's going to have a removable brass deflector and forward assist. You can see it's kind of a different finish there. And the reason they do that is to kind of make this upper receiver last pretty much longer than the user. And so you are going to have some replaceable parts where you would not typically see that in your standard AR-15. So like this brass deflector and forward assist. On the other side, this steel piece right here is basically what allows the bolt to lock and unlock when chambering and extracting around. So I've never had this happen on one of my aluminum receivers with ARs, but this is kind of very long into the life of the AR, but it's kind of one of the first wear points that you will see on an upper receiver is where the steel on the bolt interfaces with the upper receiver to lock and unlock That steel plate right here is what does that, so that is removable and replaceable. Moving down to the lower receiver. So again, this is also going to be constructed of a forged piece of aluminum, more than likely 7075. And the reason that I know that it's a forging is you can see the Anchor Harvey forging mark here. Out towards the back end of the lower receiver, you're going to have two QD cups that are steel inserts, and they are anti-rotational, as you can see on the inside of those. And those are for attaching a QD sling mount. And then a little bit farther than that, on the back side of the lower receiver, if this brace wasn't here, there would be a 1913 rail. So you can essentially move this brace, or if you have a stock attached, up or down a space to your liking. And as you can see on the bottom, it does have a slightly flared magazine well and an integrated trigger guard. And then the grip here is going to be an FDE Sig Sauer grip. These are very reminiscent of the Magpul MOE grips, both in size and angle. And on the bottom of that is going to be a trap door for putting batteries, candy, whatever you want to put in there. Moving on back to the brace. So this is kind of Sig's standard brace that they put on both the MPX and MCX. It's going to have a steel lockup point with a button that allows you to fold it, and that button's right here. Press down, fold it, and it does lock in the folded position. You do have to depress the button to unlock it. The middle portion here is going to be constructed of aluminum, and I believe this is not Cerakote, I believe this is anodized. And the brace portion in the rear is going to be made of rubber, and it does swivel a full 360, and it unfolds like this, revealing the elastic strap, so you can strap your arm on the inside right there. So down to the controls. So this is pretty much fully ambidextrous from the safety selector right here. It's going to be on both sides. Now the right side is going to be slightly shorter, but you can swap those switches from left to right, however you like. Here's your left side magazine release button right here. And there's the right side. And right here is going to be your bolt hole, bolt close button. This is the right side, and the left side is kind of standard, slightly extended on the bottom side for holding it open, and your kind of standard size paddle on the top. I'll show you how that works here. There it is in the open position, and then you pull it down to close the bolt. Up top is going to be an ambidextrous charging handle. This is Sig's charging handle, so you can open it from this side as well as from this side. So the trigger here is going to be Sig's own two-stage kind of match light trigger is what they call it. They state that it's going to come in at 5 pounds. So let's make sure everything's safe, good to go. We'll go ahead and test out that trigger. So like I said, it is a two-stage. I'm not sure on the poundage of the first stage. Kind of feels like a pound, maybe less, but a very defined wall right there. And there's the brake. Let's see that reset. Here's the reset. And it brings you right back to that first stage. There's the brake. And I'll show you, it brings you back to that first stage here. And right there. Very nice trigger. And I'll go ahead and show you the takedown procedures. Pretty much the same as your standard AR-15. Make sure everything's clear and safe. Push out your rear takedown button. Then take the upper receiver, fold it up, pull the charging handle, and then your bolt and recoil assembly will slide out just like that. Pretty much like your standard AR-15. Then to close it, just push everything back in. Make sure your charging handle is locked up, like that. Close the two halves. And on the other side, you're going to squeeze everything together, make sure it's tight, because pretty tight tolerances. Then push that pin back in. There you go. And the last control I'd like to discuss is going to be the adjustable gas block. So if you look here, you're going to see a minus, and you're going to see a plus, or I'll call this the left. This would be the right side. So as the picture indicates, right now it's in the minus position, or left side down position. That's going to be for standard ammunition, suppressed or unsuppressed. Now, if you push it to the right, like this, it's going to be in an adverse or low function ammunition condition, like subsonic ammunition. All right. If you guys have any questions on the Sig Sauer MCX Spear LT, just drop a comment down below and I'll do my best to get back with you. Thank y'all for watching.